Right, we're live this time.
We are live! Take two.
Which is bad, like 70 people straight away on that last one. We got nobody on this one. Is anyone there? You're tan compared to me. You're still fully tan, you.
Yeah? What's wrong with my tan? What do you mean? I've not tanned. Yeah, I'm trying to bring this up now on the new one. Wait on. 2 seconds, folks, just getting this sorted.
Hey, we've still got people.
Way, they're back, we're back. We're just getting our devices up to get it.
So that we can actually speak to you.
Way, there we are. Rob K's there. Fernando Cruz. Miguel Alba. Tagood Sivan. Extreme Kev. Stephen Fotheringham. Rodrigo Ignacio. Holly Dolly. And Frank.
Hey.
Cicero. Sarah. Valkyrie. Valkyrie Days. Valkyrie? I was just thinking, is that not the movie Valkyrie?
Yeah, with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. It's a Valkyrie. Historically, there was a female warrior, I'm sure.
Oh, Valkyries.
Yeah.
They're from Thor Ragnarok. They're called little Valkyries.
Were they chicks in that as well?
Are they called Valkyries? Has anyone seen Thor Ragnarok? What was the chick called? Was it a Valkyrie?
I think she was, wasn't it?
I'm sure.
My Quincy's rather fluffy tonight. It's getting really long.
It was really colour the other day. What were we filming?
This week's videos.
Yeah, and Rob took his top off and it's like, there's all these little curls. It was like he permed his Quincy.
I got out in the shower the other day, it was all matted. I was like, oh man, I'm going to scrape. I'm going to get like a beard comb. Winter coat, Caroline, that's right. Our Piper's on, Michael. Bonjour, gents.
That's actually funny. Yeah, lights are back on. I expect this is part of how to chill the fuck out.
That it was!
Exactly. Things go wrong, you just chill the fuck out. Yeah. No, that wasn't part of the lesson tonight, but glad you picked up on that. Bob,
I think we do the important bit first, sir.
Oh, should we do it?
Right, so this is what we got from
Neil.
Neil, thank you, Neil.
Neil from Perth sent us this for Christmas.
Not Perth here, like Perth, like
Australia.
down under.
This is a Dalmore 15-year-old.
I can't say the bad thing.
It's funny, did you say that Rob was on tonight? I think he's mentioned his name.
Rob K or
no, Rob from New York, from Lean Formula.
no, I just said. What mate?
I think you did.
Did I? Michael's on, our Piper. Rob K was on.
I'm pretty sure you said it.
Did I?
Tagged or something.
Tag it. Yeah, so it's a different thing. I know the one you mean.
Oh, is
it's like Total 2000.
Oh, is it?
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're ready for this?
Right.
Should we bring it closer to the camera? Right, we're ready.
We're ready.
Oh! Glug.
We're drinking out of gin glasses. Also, the gin glasses were sent by Stephen.
Stephen Neff.
Thank you, Stephen. We're using your gin glasses to whiskey because that's how we roll.
Gin's getting kept for a special night because I get too drunk on gin.
Drunk on gin.
Cheers to you, matey.
Cheers to Mary.
Cheers to matey.
Oh, the damn was good. Oh,
here's a little whiskey trivia for you. Is it trivia? Would you class it as trivia? Some nice information. If you swirl the glass so that the whiskey lines the sides and then you leave it to settle, and the slower the little drips come down, the better the whiskey.
is that true?
That is very true. I learned that at the Famous Grouse Experience. Because basically, if it comes if you did it with water, it would almost disappear straight away.
Oh yeah.
So then the slower comes down, and basically it's a little bit thicker, a little bit better.
That looks good.
Nice.
It's funny, when I was younger, we used to go into my mum's drink cabinet, and it was you would get the vodka or the Bacardi, and obviously you take some out into another bottle, and you'd have to fill it back up with water. And I didn't realise my brother was doing the same thing. And I'm saying to my mates, I've had half a bottle and I feel fine. Like I was obviously tipsy, but I didn't realise it was getting diluted all the time. How long before you're on the cover of GQ magazine? I don't know. Good question.
I think you should contact them and ask.
Oh.
In fact, do you know how many people are on right now?
113.
See if 113 of you all contacted GQ and said, you need to get the Kilted coaches on.
Yeah.
Then they might get in contact with us.
Anne is in Lanzarote, but she made it, she wasn't sure. Listen to her, can't hear you for the disco music.
Belize guy wants to send us some tequila. Ooh, maybe we should have a night on tequila. If Belize guy sends us some tequila, we will do a live feed drinking tequila.
That would be risky, will not?
Yeah.
Risky. So tonight's episode is how to chill the out, basically.
How to chill, yeah, so.
And what we mean by this is it's quite specific. It's not mean just chill out because if you're stressed, it's...
No, it's certain situations, and every single one of you watching us right now will have something in your life that you either get worked up about or you know somebody else gets worked up about. Because it happens all the time.
So it's like, classic example, we're in a gym environment at the moment and somebody will be like, you're not doing that right. You know,
yeah. Your technique is wrong. So our point to that is, chill the fuck out. So we always ask a few simple questions. Is it going to hurt you, first of all?
Yeah, so safety first.
Is it going to cause damage or death? If the answer is no, then you need to chill the fuck out.
I mean, most people, it'll be something like when there's alternatives to that same movement and they say you're doing it wrong, but you're doing it's never happened directly with myself, but I've seen other clients been in the gym and if they've been working with me, I'm trying to think of a perfect example. Let's just say somebody's doing an overhead tricep pull with the rope and somebody says, no, you're doing it wrong, you need to use a straight bar. It's like,
yeah.
You can use anything you want. Like
a real good example of this also is bicep curls, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you do bicep curls. Now, I'm one of those guys that I like to maintain a perfectly still body. I've always done that way. It comes second nature to me. Some people prefer to kind of use a little bit of kind of body movement, and some people would say that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. You're using your shoulders too much. Now, first of all, we would say like it's not going to cause any damage. It doesn't really matter. If we're then going to be technical about it, and this is why I want to mention this, studies are now shown that if you do a bit of cheating on a bicep curl or any other exercise for that matter, as long as you're not going to damage yourself, then it allows you to lift a slightly heavier weight. It's kind of like self-spotting, and it creates more muscle growth in the belly of the muscle because you're lifting more weight, even if there is a slight cheat in it. So studies are now shown that. But coming back to the original point, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Does it really matter? Is it causing death or damage? No, we need to chill the fuck out. Now that I'm using that as an example because now we know the technical aspect of it, that actually it pays to do that. So sometimes your instincts will tell you more than what the science tells you. The science will eventually catch up. But you can refer to any aspect of life, not just training, not just fitness and nutrition, but any aspect of life.
Is there any examples you can think of when somebody's just been a bit uptight? Uptight is the right word, isn't it? You're doing that wrong, or that's not how you do, or that's...
Yeah, let's hear some examples from you guys when somebody's getting on at you, or maybe you are, you're questioning yourself. You know, like, I should be doing more of this and I should be doing more of that. Like for instance, Rab and I sometimes will say, oh, you know, we really need to be more professional on our channel. And we'll actually say that now and again, and then we kind of look at each other like, nah.
Not going to happen. No. Not going to happen. Well, in fact, we're actually guilty of this as well, because we love our single malts. We love them, right? And you could argue that if someone said to us, "Oh, I'd have that Dalmore with a little bit of Coke," we'd be like, "What the?" Like,
yeah. Don't dare put a single malt whiskey with anything other than maybe a touch of water.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And that's when people should say to us, chill that, I'll drink my whiskey anything I want, right?
It's your whiskey. Like, even if you had a 25-year-old Glenlivet that's worth about £500 plus, even if you had a 25-year-old Glenlivet, if it's your whiskey and you want to put Coke in it, then you can do what the hell you want. You're not going to listen to a couple of Kilted coaches to say, you shouldn't do that, that's sacrilege. You shouldn't ruin the whiskey. Chill, we need to chill the fuck out when it comes to things like that.
There's one with clothing we've heard as well, isn't there? Wearing something a certain way. What was it? Oh man, what was that? Oh, I can't even remember. I remember there was actually something to do with 12 Days of Christmas as well. Because, you know, historically 12 Days of Christmas come after Christmas. But when we do our 12 Days of Christmas, we do it our way. We did it in 12 days leading to Christmas.
Yeah,
someone got all kind of To be fair, they actually, when I'd responded saying, well, it's the Kilted coaches, they said fair play and laughed it out. But initially they were like, you do know that it's like Poindexters, that's what it is. People like, that's exactly it. It's people that like to correct people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It shouldn't be like that, it should be like this.
It's like, whatever.
Does
Like,
it really matter?
I mean, you can actually get quite, we've done it a few times with comments. You know, if somebody gives you a really bad comment, we correct their spelling. And it's actually the most irritating thing to happen. They've written this big thing, and you're just like, you are with an apostrophe.
I did that on YouTube.
I saw that, yeah, but ultimately it's...
There was 2 messages left, and literally there was 3 paragraphs per comment, and there was 2 big comments, and went on about this, that and other, about how the video was wrong, and our opinions were wrong, this, that and other. But they'd said, and they'd done it 2 or 3 times, and they put you're this, or what was it, you're part of the problem, whatever. So I was like, one word answer. You apostrophe.
Well, we actually had another one recently as well. It was a picture, wasn't it? And it was to do with bottles of water. Now, ultimately, the post was about drinking water, and people get so uptight, like, chill the. It's like, oh, you're promoting plastic bottles. It's like, no,
we're promoting water.
Yeah, drink water, and plastics are clogging up the sea. It's like, we know that's happening, but that's not what the picture's about.
Yeah. Us posting a picture of water is not going to create a bigger plastic problem, ever. People are not going to say, oh, the Kilted coaches promote only drinking from plastic, we must get more plastic.
Do you think, I don't know why people like to correct other people, why is that? You know, like, when you've said something, whatever it is, let's say we were trying to make a point and we got a slight detail wrong, but nonetheless the point was made. Someone always in the video and comments loves to correct. And you're like, who cares? Like, that's not what the video was about. But I don't, why did, and not just on videos, we're just using that as an example because we see that in comments, but in everyday life, like, let's just say you were in a situation and you were talking to either a group of people or you're in a class scenario, there's always someone that wants to correct you. You might be with a bunch of friends and a few people that are maybe acquaintances, and you'll be discussing something, and there's always someone that has to correct you. Like, who gives a damn? Like,
I'm pretty sure that.
Should we drink water or whiskey? It's up to you, Rob. But as long as you chill that, you'll be fine.
Stephen following him saying, don't be silly, you don't need to be more professional.
We will never be professional.
Anyway,
now Anne was, I don't think she realised that we clocked her comment. So Anne, we actually noticed you were on from the beginning.
Yes, we did.
So Anne, chilled it. We saw you, Anne, we saw you were in Lanzarote, you cheeky monkey.
Somebody's asking if we both have our own Instagram. No, we do not. We've got a joint one.
Yep. Does that make us like an Instagram couple?
We are an Instagram couple. We are.
Hey, Book Babes on. Hello, my favourite coaches.
Hey.
Oh, now that's interesting. Cassie's saying people with OCD correct people because they like order in their lives, and that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Well, it does, but it also creates a little bit of chaos because you're trying to control something that you have no control over.
Yeah.
Because I've got a bit of OCD, and there's nothing worse than saying that's bugging me and I can't do anything about it. And it's actually the psychologist would say it's one of the quickest ways to anxiety and depression is to worry about something that you have no control over.
Right.
Because you're kind of it just drives you insane. It's like I don't know. You want to you don't want Donald Trump to be president, okay? If you worry about that and you think about it day and night, you know what can we do? What can we do? You cannot do anything. You could vote when the vote comes up, but that's all you can do. So once you've cast your vote, you need to step away from it and cut your emotions.
Yeah, you've done your bit.
Done your bit. You act when you can act, and as soon as you cannot act, you cut your emotions. So I'll give you an example. I do have a bit of OCD, okay? So if we show you around the studio right now, like everything has its place, okay? And as soon as it's out of place, I'm kind of like, so obviously we've got our 2 coaches, Nick and Claire, who are awesome, by the way. But every now and again, there'll be something that's not quite in place. Like it would just be like the 2.5 on top of the 1.25 plate.
Steve's like, release the hounds!
Exactly.
And I'm grabbing his hand like, no!
So, but I have control over the studio. Like, if something's not in its place, I can say, that's not in its place, that needs to be fixed. And I'll have a conversation with Nick and Claire and they go, yeah, no worries, that's great, we'll do it next time. And we get a working relationship. However, at home, I do not have control.
Release that!
I wish I bloody could. Tilly, get them! So, with 2 young kids at home and a wife that's not exactly tidy, I have to cut my emotions. So, I have OCD about the studio. I do not have OCD about home because I don't have control over it. And it used to drive me insane. So, as soon as something is bothering you, it's the action or acceptance scenario. Okay, so if you haven't seen our video on action or acceptance, go and watch that right now. In fact, don't watch it right now because you leave us.
Yeah, stay here, stay right here.
Don't leave us. But yeah, go and watch action or acceptance afterwards. And if you don't have control over something, you have to let go. It's not worth your happiness. You need to chill.
Let it go.
Fuck out.
Just got a message there from Holly Blair. Do you answer your DMs on Instagram? No, we don't. We gave up the whole direct messaging on all our platforms 6 months ago, ultimately because it's quite time consuming to answer to one person.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if it was a public, if you posted publicly onto our Facebook page or publicly onto Instagram comment, we'll respond. The reason for it is your question might be what 10 other people want to ask. Yeah. Therefore, our answer helps all 11 of you. Whereas if you send a direct message, we're only answering you, then the other 10 also send the same message, and unless we can copy and paste.
The only way we will answer privately is if our agent management sends us, so he's basically got access to pretty much everything. So he'll sort of monitor, delete what needs to be deleted, and if there's anything like business orientated or something that could benefit the channel, then he'll say, guys, you need to respond to this. If it's a question, even if it's a nice polite question to say, I've got type 2 diabetes and what advice could I get? We will not respond because ask it publicly on Twitter, even on Instagram, we will potentially reply to it because, like Rab said, a bunch of other people can benefit from the answer. So, depends what you're going to ask. If you're going to ask to see our boobies, then the answer's no.
John Donohoe said, what does OCD stand for? Actually, it's something disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder. So I mean, that ties us back to the one order.
It's also when you like eating Wotsits and then you go for a wank. You got orange cock disorder.
I've never done that. See when someone corrects you, like see when someone corrects me, I get my back. It depends how they do it, to be fair. But I get my back up automatically. Like if I was in mid-flow, and someone tells me that, I don't know, let's just say I said that your end flow, Arkansas was Arkansas. Yeah, that's actually, when people correct you've mispronounced something.
Actually, it's this.
Or in fact, they don't even warn you. They just say it.
People, I think it's an inbuilt human instinct. Is you want to be right, and you also want to be the first to be right. And this is actually why gossip is such a huge thing. People love to gossip because you want to be the first person to tell somebody something. You want to be the giver of news. Like I want to tell Rap something, he goes, really? And it's actually all about energy as well. If energy transfer, now I don't know if you believe this or not, but we are more. The energy comes from more than just food. Like you can actually pass energy backwards and forwards. If I say something really interesting and Rap goes, holy shit, really? That's amazing. He has given me his energy, and I'm like, yeah, I gave you that information. You give me your energy back.
Yeah, trade.
So this is why, like, if somebody steps on stage and if they're very, very comfortable on stage, talking to thousands of people who are all like, oh, really, this is amazing. Like, you go on stage and you're absolutely buzzing. It's almost impossible to be tired and yawning on stage if you're talking to like one people who are interested, if you know what you're talking about, because you get so much energy from them. So energy transfer, and that's what gossip comes about. This is why, if you correct somebody, like you will steal their energy if they go, oh really, I didn't realise it was Arkansas rather than Arkansas, sorry. You're like, yeah, I told you that, I feel awesome.
Now don't get me wrong, we've had a good laugh at that on the channel because it comes up as a comment, but no one's into
at my expense!
But it's not like we can hear you, it just flies up and we point it out, it's different. Whereas if I was actually to stop in mid-flow and say, it's at Arkansas, it steals the energy, doesn't it?
It does,
and it's even worse when you don't really know the person, because you're like,
yeah.
And what's even worse twice, worse, or capital worse, is if you don't really know the person and you're not 100% sure that they're even right.
Yeah.
So what they've done is they've enforced their opinion on you, and you're like, well, wait a minute, Maybe it is our cats.
Yeah, who says so?
Yeah.
So John Fletcher saying, got any advice on adult ADHD as I struggle with motivation to do things like going to the gym and daily tasks I want to but don't. So when you know what you should be doing but you don't do it, you've probably got a bit of a stress response going on inside your head. My first protocol, if you've got ADHD, I would seriously look into, if you're not already, look into meditation, daily practice meditation. It's kind of like taking vitamins. If you take one vitamin, you're not automatically going to feel awesome and better. But if you take vitamins on a regular basis, in fact, if you get the vitamins from your diet on a regular basis, you will naturally become a healthier person with less illness. I'd say meditation is a very, very similar. You can get away with like 15 to 20 minutes a day. It doesn't take that much. But if you get the habit of doing it regularly, it's not going to fix it overnight, but if you get the habit of doing it regularly, it's like vitamins. It just builds you up, makes you a stronger, fitter, healthier person.
And as Stephen said, if you are dealing with a sort of stress or ADHD as well, why don't you just plan a much shorter workout? Do a short goal, maybe just say, right, I'm going to do 10 minutes and see what I can do in that time. But also make sure your nutrition's right, because sometimes if you start off, if your nutrition's not right, you plan to have a workout at 5 p.m. By the time you get to 5 p.m, you're going to be tired. You're going to be like, oh, I can't be bothered training now. It's because if your nutrition's been right all day, then you hit 5 o'clock, you've still got that energy for that 10-minute workout. Otherwise, you'll sit down, do nothing, and then just feel terrible all over again.
So we did a video on cheating the system, so you should go and watch that. Actually, a really nice location too. It's by that old castle, wasn't it? It's kind of like
That's what the gun was going off.
That's right.
Yeah.
So cheating the system. I'll let you go and watch the video, but basically it's all about cheating the system. So a lot of people will think and they have these parameters in their head about how the workout should be and how long it should be and where it needs to be, and you know what they should be doing and how they should be feeling. But that's not always the case, and often when you become stressed, if you've got ADHD or any type of anxiety or depression, sometimes that can just be like overwhelmed, therefore you do nothing at all. So you cheat the system by saying, right, well, I'm going to have 3 workouts this week, a minimum of 30 seconds per workout. So you're like, well, everyone can do a 30-second workout, I can just do like 30 seconds of squats, so I'll just do that. So you get your gym kit on, you do your 30 seconds, like boom, done, you can get changed again, finish. But more often than not, chances are, you may want to do a bit longer than 30 seconds, but because you get into the mindset of, I'm only going to do 30 seconds, at least you get into the habit, and this is what it's all about, creating habits. Create a habit of always working out, so you can say to everybody, yeah, I work out 3 times per week.
We're going to say hi to John C. and Anne, this is for you, so I'm going to give you a thumbs up and a kiss. Anne Sawyers. And somebody else made a good comment. Now, BB said, for impulsive change, for impulsivity? Is that how you say it? Impulsivity?
Impulsivity?
Yeah, if you're impulsive.
Yeah.
BB suggestion, change your fitness routine, swap and change between different routines perhaps. Oh, that's a good suggestion, right? Mix it up, kind of.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of comments that have been
Oh, there's a ton.
What's that? Stephen, you're auditioning for a shampoo ad. What a guy.
What a guy.
My hair's at that really awkward stage, so basically I'm growing my hair because I want to be able to kind of pin it all back and put it into a bit of a kind of ponytail at the back. It's a bit, you know, not me. But it's kind of the awkward stage where I can't kind of do that, but it's also like really weird. So that's why I keep brushing it. What a guy.
Stephen Perry saying, I guess the opposite of OCD could be IUO, or indifferent, unneurotic, or orderliness, or just chaos, right?
No man buns, please, Stephen. I'm getting a bun, whether you like it or not.
Top notch bloke.
Yeah, my friend Finn's got his hair kind of.
I've not seen it yet.
Oh, he looks like Keanu Reeves anyway.
Yeah.
But see with his hair long, he looks like Keanu Reeves from. Christ, what's that from? Samurai one. Is it
Ronin? No, it's not.
Is it
Something Ronin?
It's like a number Ronin.
Yeah, is it?
Or
21 Ronin? Somebody help us here.
Help us out here. Keanu Reeves, he's a samurai, kind of Ronin. Is it 47 Ronin?
John C. saying, dude, where's my car? It's not that one.
Yeah, it's, what's it called? Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted, yeah. Of course, the other guy, Bill
I think
and
it's
Ted, was
47
also-
on him, pretty sure.
that sounds about right, yeah. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yes, grow out your blonde locks.
Stephen Perry saying, Stephen, if you want a man bun or top knot, I'll have to travel there and cut it off, so please don't. Stephen Perry, I am getting a man bun. And if you're going to come, please bring whiskey with you.
Man, have you seen those videos on YouTube? I can't remember who was doing it, but they were going around snipping people's top knots.
Oh, really?
I'm assuming it was all genuine, but basically it'd be like, let's just say there was a guy having lunch with his girl and his top knot. The guy would run up behind him, snip his knot, and just be like, and run off. And it was absolutely mental, and somebody was coming behind filming it. But I don't know if it was genuine or set-ups, but it was going around for a while. I think it was last year I saw it.
No man buns ever. Man, people are hating on the man bun. I don't have one yet. I've just like it's got this awkward hair.
I would love for Rap to do one. So long.
It's just me now.
That's a brilliant line. Just go and do one. Beat it. What's your take on Logan Paul? Silly boy.
We were just chatting about that actually. See, YouTube have now cut his business ties, so I'm really glad of it.
Do you know what? He was about him and his brother were out of control, right?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference to us. I mean, we all say, keep up with current affairs. We keep up with our current affairs, and that's about it. So, we kind of got half an opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing it just literally before we came on the stream there. We were saying how, because we joke when we're out with the dogs. We're like, one of these days, one of our puppies is going to bring back like an arm in its mouth, because we go into like woodland areas.
We go into like deep forest.
There could be anyone buried out there,
And we actually had made that joke before, like, what would you do if we found a dead body?
Yeah, and then we laughed and said our audience would just think it was probably fake and we're just doing it for views or whatever. So, we agreed it would.
A few months pass, and then Logan Paul does that.
But the difference is he went to a site which was known for suicide. So it's like if you go to a spooky place, you're hoping to see a ghost. Really?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go to Haunted Castle. Let's hope we're going to see a ghost on camera. You go to a suicide, you're
hotspot.
Yeah.
So he went there looking for it, which is,
Yeah. But well, he's been scolded for it. So hope he learns his lesson.
Sorry, Daniel Miller is like, that's right, Joyce. I'm not seeing the rest of the conversation, but just you saying, that's right, Joyce.
That's right, Joe.
Reminds me of one of our videos from Haggis Tossers. Haggis Tossers 2. Haggis Tossers 2. That's right, Joe.
That's right, Joe. Who has the widest distance between nipples? Me, maybe?
Hang on. Do that.
Well, they're the same. Nipple check. Oh, that reminds me back in the paper round days, right? You used to get in the shop. Now, on a Sunday, they used to have this newspaper called the Sunday Sport. And the manager, do you remember Kev? Kind of big guy.
Yeah.
Kev used to get all excited to do the nipple count. And he'd be like, oh, nipple count today, boys. And I was like, what, 13? So like, there's boobs, But then see when there was an odd number, he'd go all excited, he'd be like 39 nipples. So we had to find a loose nipple. And it'd always be like a woman half turned to the side or...
A wee bit of side boob.
Yeah, a bit of side boob, yeah. So the nipple count. Are your nips sensitive? No.
How in the bloody hell are these guys aren't in porn? Because we don't want to be.
We don't want to do porn, man. Someone was saying earlier about Pornhub. Yeah, we know we're on Pornhub, but it's not. Somebody just stole our video from YouTube. I mean, it's the same thing I say every time. If I went onto a porn site, looking for porn and got our workout video, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, you're like, what the hell is this?
I want to see two chicks get naked, but instead they're in the bikinis working out.
Yeah.
Oh, change the channel. I'd be
imagine you went to a porn site and they're like, yes, let's do some porn, and then Jane Fonda comes on doing her lunges and her leg lifts and shit. Like, what the
You'd
hell?
find yourself watching it going, is she going to take any of that off? No, she's really not.
Are we actually going to see Jane Fonda doing porn? This is worth it. Watch the whole video. Maybe that's where we got all the views from.
Glenn's pining out for Mark.
Apparently long hair amplifies your sexiness, Stephen.
Oh.
Rab, never shave that body.
Who said don't shave it?
Rab, never shave that body. Alan.
I've not shaved it for about a year. Even then, I just used to trim it. Now, Quincy's got rights. Quincy's got his own little postcode here. So, Joyce, that's the spirit. Just use your imagination, people. Bloody hell, that is the spirit, Joyce. Are you going to use your imagination?
What the hell?
Joyce?
I think he is past shaving and up to weed whacking.
Take that one on the chin. I love it's in capitals. Glenn's like, he's past saving.
What's weed whacking?
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's an innuendo there. I don't know.
It's like kind of spanking the monkey type thing. Whacking the weed.
Michael McHugh is saying you guys are helping me to quit smoking and lose weight. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Happy days. Weed trimmer. It's trimming weeds. Stephen bothering him.
Fair enough.
Fair play. We were looking for a really complicated answer there and it just wasn't there.
That's sound like an innuendo though, right?
You didn't mean it as an innuendo, right? If you didn't, then you did now.
Oh, Anne Binner's on. Hi guys.
Hey,
Hi Anne.
hi Anne.
And you've changed your avatar. It looks...
Wow.
Yep. Hi Anne. Sometimes I forget this is live. Have a little drink there.
Ah, that's funny.
Yep. Yeah. I love Captain Caveman Rab. Thank you, Joker. Captain
Caveman! He had a big club.
Yeah. Was he on an advert for like turkey drummers as well, or not? Did I just imagine that? Or was maybe because his club kind of looked like a turkey drummer.
No, you're right, because the chicken drumstick things, there was I don't know if it was Captain Caveman, but there was definitely a caveman with a club.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was.
Yeah.
Give Rab a kiss. No.
Is soya protein really bad for men? Now, it's not really bad for men, but the issue is that it
Promotes estrogen.
Yeah. Which for guys of a certain age, you want to maximise testosterone and minimise estrogen.
Estrogen will give you man boobs. Too much estrogen and not enough testosterone will give you man boobs. So soy products will promote.
If you were younger and like a spring chicken and fairly healthy, I don't think you'd have to worry, but it's later in life when everything's going the wrong way. Looks like Rab has a tornado in his stomach. Yeah, we're just saying like it's getting out of control actually. Hell. Let's see.
Rob K is asking what videos on Pornhub.
You'll have to go and investigate for it. Apparently, I think there's like four different ones.
Anne saying she did a frog. I was so excited. Oh, frog stand thingy. I was so excited.
Is it a frog?
Did a frog.
Normally you just got to kiss the frogs until you find your prince, but you actually did a frog.
So she went from a frog all the way up. Is that what she was practicing?
I don't know.
That's pretty impressive. Well done.
Looks like a Persian rug.
Persian rug. Are you familiar with Shred-X? If so, thoughts about taking it? Is that like Shreddies and testosterone? I'm assuming it's a fat burner by the sounds of it. I'm not familiar with it, but it sounds like a fat burner. Like,
Alan's asking us, whey protein good for us, coaches? It all comes back to that word, it depends. Generally speaking, yeah. To us, whey protein is just a byproduct of the cheese making process. It's just a protein element of dairy. It's neither good nor not good for us. It just is. It's just protein.
It just is.
It just is. It depends on the rest of your diet. Like if somebody is really lacking in protein things, so we get clients now and again who have like the eating healthily, but when you look at the diet, like there is no protein there at all, and it's one of the first things you look for if you're trying to get in good shape. And if they're really not into eating meat, then whey protein can be a very good option for them. However, for a lot of people, it's like, no, I don't really want that. I'd rather eat chicken. I'd rather have some beef. I'd rather eat some fish, and that's okay. There's no huge benefit to whey protein over chicken or fish or whatever. It's just protein.
So Anne's saying she can get her feet off the ground, but she can't press up yet. So in the frog, but that's still impressive. So just work on building up how long you can hold it. And then up you go, right?
You need stronger arms, and you need to eat more, and you need to eat your protein, and you need to get those duck eggs in, and
Sam the Mighty. Are you guys going to do this again in English? One day we'll learn to speak English, buddy. Until then, Rab for president, right?
So I don't know if you caught our Christmas party, but we were giving hats away for anybody who made us laugh. You would have got a hat, but
You weren't here.
you weren't here, and Christmas is past now.
So we need to send them out.
We do actually. We've got all the envelopes in the office. We do need to send them out. We're going to do it this week and forgot.
Anne says you have ducks, Stephen.
What?
I don't know, I have ducks. Oh, duck eggs.
Duck
Stephen
eggs.
Perry's, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
Sorry, Anne's one of my clients, and I'm just getting on her for making sure she's eating enough to get to her goals. She wants Cameron Diaz arms, and you can't get them unless you eat properly.
So wheat.
So I'm publicly shaming her right now.
Publicly shamed. So Mark Med said, please a question, although he didn't actually ask a question. I watched many videos you recorded shirtless in snow. Wow, man, I suppose it was very difficult as a Brazilian bloke. Congratulations. So if you want to ask a question, Mark, fire away. That was more of a statement, but thank you. It was pretty cold, actually.
It was, yeah.
Joey's on! Joey Gallon!
Hey, our buddy
What a
Joey.
guy. Our
Joey,
fashion
Joey,
man.
Joey.
You can't get Cameron Diaz arms without a hacksaw. What do you think of Cameron Diaz now compared to when she was younger? Like, let's take her in the mask.
Oh, see the mask.
Oh.
She was like a goddess, right?
Stan, what was his name? Stanley Ipkiss.
Stanley Ipkiss.
And she would go Stanley
Ip.
Kiss. And he was just staring at her lips. Oh man.
Oh man.
And I saw her in something else recently. There was another movie I watched when she was looking stunning. But then in recent years,
See, I love her in Charlie's Angels. You know, when she's wearing little pants and she's like shaking her bum. You're like,
we're gonna have a Cameron Diaz marathon. But it's fun. Like, how old was she in the mask?
oh,
20?
in her 20s, yeah, I think. She must be close to 40 now.
I actually did a search. Actually, whatever movie I was watching, I was like, I wonder who she's dating, and I wish I hadn't, because she's been through quite a lot of actors. And I was like, okay, I wish I hadn't done that. So poor Cameron. Poor Cameron.
So, Holly Blair's asking, do you guys have a female hall pass with your wives? So, I've never had that conversation, but I used to with an ex, and this is really funny. So, I don't know if you guys know of Kelly Brook. So, when we were younger, Kelly Brook was like, she was the pin-up poster girl.
She used to date Jason Statham
Yeah,
for a
she
while.
did. She did. So Kelly Brook's brother is in the Royal Engineers, as was I. So like straight away, she was probably like, you know, she was obviously really hot, but she wasn't my favourite. But because I had a slight connection to her, I was like, well, one day I might meet her brother and become friends, and then I could potentially meet her. Therefore, she's my hall pass. And the girlfriend at the time, she chose like Brad Pitt or something. I was like, yeah, that's never happened.
It's like that episode of Friends. Remember they have the list of 5 people that they're allowed to sleep with, famous people.
Yeah.
And he mentions, is it some French actress, isn't it? And he put her on his list, but then he took it off and he laminates the list. And of course, she comes into the coffee shop. And then Rachel winds him up and said, you would go and chat her up anyway. He's like, right, I so would. And Ross goes up to explain himself and says, oh, I made my list. And she says, oh, can I see your list? And she looks at it and she's like, I'm not on there. And he said, this isn't my final list. And the joke was always, but it's laminated. Who would you be your laminated list?
Who would be on my laminated list? Well, Cameron Diaz now, of course.
Yeah. From the mask, though.
From the math. I don't want to say at any point.
I would have Charlize Theron.
Oh, yes. I would also have. Christ, what's her name? Black Widow from Avengers.
Oh, yeah. The redhead. Christ, what's her name? We're used to
Help us out here. What's her name? Her name is. Oh, is it? It's not.
I was going to say Selena Miller, but it's not her.
No, it's Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
Thank you, Michael Schwartz. Thank you very much. Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
In her Black Widow outfit though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Halle Berry. Nah.
She's getting her own movie. Happy days.
Scottish lads.
We are Scottish,
Is that a question? Are we Scottish lads or?
Oh, they put a question mark, yeah.
That whiskey is smooth.
Damn, it's so smooth. Isn't it? It's a really nice one. And the thing is, like we always say, it's the bottle that you wouldn't want to throw away either. Anything worth seeing in Perth? I'll be nearby in April. Consider a trip up on the train. The Hermitage is nearby, so you can go and visit that. It's lots of sort of hills and sea. You'd have to kind of do a wee sort of driving tour. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, Perthshire in general is absolutely stunning. Anywhere you go, just go 5 minutes in any direction, and you've got this beautiful scenery. Dunkeld, especially, it's just a tiny little village, but there's like a lovely river. They've got the cliffs and mountains, and it's just everything's awesome. If you're coming to Scotland, you get the Harry Potter train ride. It goes over like the viaduct and stuff like that. It's really, really cool.
It's not that far north either, is it?
No, it's not.
We should go and do the Harry Potter train. Have you seen the Harry Potters?
Yes, you should hire a car because you're going to get frustrated with trains and buses and stuff like that. It's Scotland's very rural, so if you've got a car, you can literally go anywhere. Like we went up to Elgin, which is up near Inverness, and it took us just over 2 hours to get there. So I don't know where you live, if it's in America, but like 2 hours in America is absolutely nothing. Like you would do that on a weekend, so you can literally get from like each end of Scotland in like say 3 hours, maybe 3 to 4 hours. You can go almost anywhere. So yes, hire a car and just get lost on the roads. It's awesome.
Glenn's like, I rode Harry Potter once.
Glenn, you should get a hat.
What's the hat that they use for deciding which house you're in?
Apparently I've been playing with my belly button, haven't
Or is it me? It's maybe me getting lost in
So how is the cost of living there?
It's actually decent.
It's hard. You'd have to compare it with another country, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's hard for us to say because we live here and earn here. The cost of living is relevant.
Yeah.
Because if we go somewhere else with what we earn here, then we've got a kind of correlation.
Like fuel is much more expensive than in America, but you've got less places to go. Like in America, you can drive for hours and hours and hours, and you can do because the fuel's cheap. Whereas here, the fuel's quite expensive, but there's no real. You don't have to go far, so it's all relative.
Someone's asking, they bought a cottage in Lochaber last year. Is that close to you? Lochaber is more towards the Oban direction, isn't it?
I actually don't know.
Yes, I remember when I used to drive up to Oban.
Right.
It's that direction, so it's a bit west of here. But I think it's 2.5 hours from here, maybe, give or take.
Kathy Calvert obviously hasn't been here for very long. Who's your favourite male actor?
Tom Hardy.
And Chris Hemsworth for me.
There we are. Go watch our videos on it, actually. That's happy days. What's EBT cards are expensive here in America? What's an EBT card? Is that like, I don't even know what it is. Tell us what an EBT card is. Do you guys get snow in the winter? In Thundera? Yes, we do. We actually had a bit of snow. If you see our Christmas workout, we had snow that day. It lasted a couple of days and then vanished again.
Well, actually, we planned that workout for a while, and it just so happened that it had been snowing that day. It's perfect. And it's funny because see when you watch back, it almost looks like we're on a green screen. Like we've got those logs with the snow on top of it. It's like really, really Christmassy. It's perfect.
Joey Gallon's giving big bear hugs to the coaches. I get jealous of Joey's Instagram feed. He's got these hot model chicks like Miss whoever, I don't know.
Oh, I know.
Miss Fantastic, I'll call them.
Joey, if you need some interns, we would actually volunteer.
Yeah, now we are very good at zipping dresses up.
And unzipping them.
Particularly the unzipping if you need unzippers. Speaking of Tom Hardy, have you been watching Taboo or Peaky Blinders now?
I've never seen Taboo. What's that?
Taboo is fantastic. Yeah, it's really good. He plays kind of a weird, his usual dark character, but I would argue that he's one of the best he's been in. Yeah, I've not seen season 2 of Taboo out yet. Season 1, it was BBC did it, and it was set in the, let me just say, 1890. Yeah, I think it's 1800s, and he's just badass. He's just that whole. Yeah, he's good. He's really good. And Glenn Roebuck, I rode Tom Hardy once. What's the open water swimming like in your area? Pretty cold, I would say.
Cold, but actually it's quite popular in all the different lochs because we've got so many lochs here that it's relatively safe because they're obviously closed off. There's no there's no high tides or anything like that. You can just go and get it done. There's no really fast currents unless you're trying to do it in the rivers and whatnot, but I would advise it anyway. So yes, plenty of lochs, and I would advise wearing a wetsuit if you're going to do that.
Then Mark Med got his question and he was wanting to know the temperature here. So it's what?
It was 3 degrees this morning. It was -8 a couple of days ago. So it varies like between. It was -8 one day and then 3 degrees the next. So it was like varied by 11 degrees over one day. So yeah, we don't really know.
Ever seen Nessie? The sea kelpie. No, I haven't. Mind you, the loch is so deep it can be anywhere, right?
People say that there's underground passages that go from the loch to the sea, and actually there's other stories of a Loch Ness monster type creature over in Scandinavia, and they reckon it's the same one or family that basically come to Scotland, and there's come from the sea. There's underground passages coming to the loch.
That could be deep enough. And then Ron's asking a very, very important question.
Oh, what's the question?
Well, he's asking about the gun law here in Scotland.
Oh,
We have a problem with guns, Ron.
we always lose track of where they are. Like, see, right now, they're sort of over that way, right there. Guns are that way.
Down that way, Ron. Right down there.
And if you take your eyes off them for 1 minute, they could appear anywhere. Like, right now, oh shit, like, they're right above us, like, they're right there.
Right there.
Right there, they're right there.
Yeah. So, yeah, there we are. Serious gun problem here in Scotland. Yep. Who is each of your favourite female fitness models? I don't actually follow female fitness models.
Have you ever seen
I've seen them, I wouldn't know their names.
the Icelandic chicks that do CrossFit?
Oh, really?
Like, one of them's the fit. They say that if you win the CrossFit Games, you are the fittest person on the planet. Now, that could be argued either way. However, the chicks that do it, I'm pretty sure one's called Catherine Sigmund's daughter, and one of them's Thor's daughter, Sarah Thor's daughter.
Oh, cool name.
Yeah. And they're absolutely stunningly beautiful, but then they've just got like arms like me. You're like, oh man. There's an advert that keeps popping up on my Facebook, and one of them's carrying a fridge. Like, you get a free fridge. I'm like, I want the person who's carrying the fridge.
It's because I follow the UFC quite a lot, and the women's MMA is just fantastic now. It's come on leaps and bounds. And there's a couple of fighters, when you see them in the ring, they're lean, they're all ripped up and they're in great condition. But then when you see them in the off-season, because ultimately they trim down for the fight to make weight, right? You see them in the off-season, it's like that, they've got proper guns. You're like, yeah, I wouldn't mess with that girl because she's put on a few pounds from the ring and she knows how to fight. Just like, Jesus.
Katy Perry's on.
Katy Perry, Vivo, kiss from me. Are they single? No, we're a double act.
Yes. Holly Blair, yes, we think they are attractive even when they have bigger guns than us. In fact, that makes them more attractive.
Who are your favourite actresses? Well, kind of goes back to, what? As in for, who are the hottest or who are the favourite in terms of acting ability? Because acting ability, I love, what's her face? Ripley. Sigourney Weaver. I think she's the pinnacle for me for a heroine in movies.
Yeah.
I love the way her transitions, even in Alien, the very first one, she was at the start of the movie.
She's just this girl who was scared and a bit of a useless type person.
And then she took on by aliens, she just grasped them into town.
Yeah.
And I know who yours is going to be.
What, female?
For similar kind of.
Sarah Connor.
I knew it was going to be, because for the same thing, she starts off as working in a cafe.
Scary, and she had that curly hair, and she's kind of like, oh,
yeah.
And then she's an absolute fucking badass.
An ultimate line, you're terminated, fucker.
Yeah.
Kicks to the bus.
Terminated. Oh, she's an absolute badass. Love Sarah Connor.
Gal Gadot. She's beautiful.
Who?
What?
Gal Gadot? Who is
She's
Gal Gadot?
Wonder Woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Wonder Woman,
I
right?
don't know that.
Yeah.
Is that like the actress's name? Or
Yeah. The actress's name, I think.
No, yeah, because Wonder Woman's like Diana, isn't it?
Ah, yeah.
Princess Diana.
Right. Yeah, it is Wonder Woman.
Whiskey of choice, Glenlivet. The older the better.
For whiskey. Oh, Michael Schwartz is asking for a peck dance. That's down to well, actually, I could do peck dance. We need the music for
Katie,
that one.
what did Katie say? James is saying, Katie, that is bad, but me too. What did Katie say?
She said, love boys sex. And it depends if your punctuation's on the boy.
Yeah, is that a sentence? Or
Are you asking if we love boy sex or what? Or is it love boys? Yeah, this is where you need proper grammar, right? Keep us out of trouble.
Don't tell them that we can see their balls. Yes, you can.
Dear. Can you guys speak Gaelic? No, we cannot. Gaelic tends to be either on the islands or further north. I mean, I suppose you get people who would speak it down this direction, but
yeah. I think my friend Finn that I was just telling you about with the hair, his son, I'm pretty sure he's learning Gaelic. He's 4 at the moment, so he's kind of like obviously speaks English, but learning Gaelic.
yeah.
Here's one, and you can answer this honestly, stroke, not quite honestly, but Holly's asking, if your next child is a boy, would you name him after your mate?
I absolutely would.
Oh, yes! We'll find out soon. We have a baby Stephen.
Baby Finn, I was thinking. It'd be Stephen, Jesus.
You heard it here first. If it's a boy, it's getting called Stephen.
Vinny's asking, are you fans of martial arts? Yep, well, I like mixed martial arts. Martial arts I do enjoy, but I think since the explosion of MMA, I'd rather watch that, to be honest. But yes,
We need a ball guy update. Is he still okay?
It's the ball guy.
Mark is absolutely fantastic.
I think, Glenn, we're going to have a weekly ball guy update for you because clearly you need to make sure, just to put some anxiety at rest.
In fact, last week, it was Glenn, wasn't it? He said the ball guy would get me motivated.
That's
so
right.
So Glenn, I actually told Mark, and he said maybe I need to do what's that word called? When you come back on stage after you
An encore.
An encore.
Yeah.
Encore. So Mark said maybe I need to do an encore. So would you like to do an encore? Would you like him back?
Yeah.
Shall we get Mark back?
Let's find out.
Show him your tits.
Anne's going to get ducks and she's going to name them.
Let's hope so.
Well,
Names them.
after us.
Oh, after this.
Yeah.
Just named that. It's like, you're going to name your child as well? Oh my god, that's news.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have a Rab duck and a Stephen duck.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, eh?
Quack, 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 quack. So you'd have to film them and send us regular updates. Quack, 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 quack. Robert Ducky. Glenn's got a pet duck all of a sudden.
Oh, cool.
Jason Hamlet. Your mashup was pretty fun. Was it cool to film? It was very cold to film.
I was bloody freeze that first scene.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, that first scene, I think it was -4 with a wind.
Yeah.
And of course, we're getting butt naked.
And we're at the top of a hill as well. It's not like we're secluded or anything. We're at the top of a hill on in a castle, so it was pretty cool. We actually had this this sort of tablecloth picnic blanket thing with us. And because we had to get like butt naked, in between scenes, like scene
jackets because it's only us to film it, right? So we had to film one camera from one angle and then run round, change it. Somebody said we're not Scottish. You English? No, we're Scottish. Richard was correct in Zodiac. Thank you, Richard.
Why is Katy Perry here, and why does she spell bad?
Would you marry me? There was plenty of shrinkage wrong, but plenty of room for shrinkage, lad.
The Zodiac subscribed and turned on post notifications. Has everyone else done that? Has everyone turned on post notifications? I have no idea what that actually is. I'm assuming you just get notifications of when we go live and stuff.
Yeah. Although there's someone said a couple of times where they've got notifications turned on and they still weren't notified.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'll complain to YouTube about that one.
Yeah. Michael's saying love from Chicago. Big.
Hey.
I think he's got a gun show to Chicago.
Which way is Chicago?
I think it's that way.
Is it that way?
Yeah.
Is it that way?
Gangster town.
Right. Both got 2 thumbs and wears a kilt. These guys!
The absolute happy days. Somebody's lake is frozen over.
Really?
Somebody's lake is frozen over. Wow, we're getting fact on duck eggs.
Aye, that's really interesting, Andrew. Really, really interesting.
That's a lot of quick thingies.
Be honest, are you wearing anything under your couch now? It's winter. New.
Again, that's the chill the fuck out though, isn't it? Because we're like, we never.
Yeah. As a principle, it's kind of like you kind of grow up with it in Scotland, and it's a very like a lad thing in Scotland. Like, you never wear underwear with a kilt. That's sacrilege. You cannot do it. It's against being a Scot. But if you want to wear underwear, you wear underwear. Just chill the fuck out. It's fine.
Katy Perry's one, Love from Los Angeles. Now, which way is Los Angeles?
I think it's like.
Is it that way?
I think it is.
We're going to run out of places to point now, right? Also, they're indoors. In it. Is that quite an English thing, isn't it? A London thing?
In it. Yeah, it's an English. Yeah, very much London thing, isn't it?
There's a London, yeah. London. Remember the other day when London was calling?
Have you heard of utility kilts? Yes.
What?
They're made in Seattle.
yeah.
Washington. Utility kilts are made all over the world. It just so happens there must be another place in Seattle also makes utility kilts. Yeah.
Mark Med's asking, is there any Brazilians in Perth? I mean, Brazilians are everywhere, right? I don't know any Brazilians, but then I wouldn't say that there isn't any here. Brazilians in Perth, I don't know.
There was one. See, I was single. Right, I'll tell you the story. So settle down.
Make the juice.
Make yourself comfortable.
Right.
I went to the bank, put a couple of checks in, and I go up to the teller, and she was beautiful. Oof. I'm talking sort of olivey dark skin, dark curly hair. She was just stunning. Absolutely. I was just like, whoa, lucky me. And I was just gonna, you know, when you're in the queue and you're kind of like, you're looking at everyone like that. They look nearly finished, but then there's two people in front of me, so that one person's going to go to there, that person's definitely going to go to there. Therefore, if I can just time it right, and if that person buggers off and I want them to, then I'm going to get that hot check. And I was monitoring the situation, and then that guy left, and I was like, yes, this is good. And then she left, and I was like, oh, this is good, because that's the two people going. And then the person at the hot checks, and then she left, and I was like, yes! She's like, next. I was like, happy days. So I went up and I was chatting away, and I was like, oh, you're new here, where are you from? And she was like, oh, I'm from Brazil. I was like, oh, really? What brings you over here? She's like, work. And I was like, alright.
And he just ran out of shit.
Conversation was going on, like, what did I say? I was like, okay, can I put my checks in, please? I was like an awkward little shrew. That's really shitty.
I was expecting more, but it's funnier that you crack and burn, right? Because everybody gets tongue-tied, right?
Yeah. Tongue-tied.
Cool.
Blaine Roebuck has seen his comment. My mum just saw this and said, who's the wee man wearing a fur coat? I said, he is shirtless, and she said, is he Italian?
Potentially, I don't
think so. I think there's some Italian in you.
Yes, my sweet, but from Vivo, that's #1. I don't even know what that means. Vivo not a music channel playing thing with Jiggy, I don't know. Holly was looking for a happy ending. So was I.
So was I. Believe me, when I was stood in that queue and I was like timing it all, I was thinking this is going to be a happy ending. Everything played in my favour, and I got there and I shit it. I shit my pants.
I suppose the robot story is when you just said the wrong thing.
I just didn't say anything at all. I was like, can I put my checks in, please?
I remember the worst. Just when people saying the wrong chart lines, it didn't involve me, but I was there and I was training. I won't name names. I was training someone in the gym, and some guy who'd been sort of eyeing her up, so it was like came up and he was all bouncing. And I was getting her some fresh water, and he said to her, "So, yeah, that's good. You're training. When's it due?" And she was like, "I'm not pregnant." And then the whole atmosphere just went. and then he was the awkward shrew, and I'd heard it because I wasn't that far away. I had my back, and I turned, and I was like, how do I deal with this? And I kind of just came across and gave her the water, and then just carried on and said, he just kind of awkwardly turned, got his towel and buggered off.
So my friend Sue used to have the thing of if she was pregnant, guys would come up and chat away. Be like, oh, so when's it due? She'd be like, I'm not pregnant, and they'd be like, oh my god, and she would let them apologise for like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm so sorry. She would play, and she's like, I'm not joking, I'm pregnant. When do you guys come to the USA? We're working on it. That's all we can say is we're working on it.
Yeah. Some things in the pipeline. Love from Canada. Whereabouts in Canada, Zodiac? What movie is that with the Zodiac killer?
Is that
Along Came a Spider or something like that? Or no?
The Zodiac killer? I don't know.
There's a movie where it's the Zodiac. Alberta. Hey. Michael Alway, hopefully Chicago. Chicago, because that's where all the gangster movies are from, right?
Yeah. I want to go to Chicago.
Yeah, Frank, you're right. That's definitely a rule. Never ever ask a woman you don't know when's the baby due unless she mentions being pregnant first. That's a very, very good rule.
The life lesson in it.
Yeah. Come on. What was that line? Oh shit, it's in Austin Powers. And it's Doc Mini-Me says it. He said,
are you sure there's not a lot of clone in you?
yeah, and she said, no. And he's like, do you want one?
Yeah, do you want one to be?
Yeah, a little Dr. Evil clone or something like that, don't you? Where's her baby arm sticking out the uterus? It's okay. Okay, I'm love gays you had watched. Hey, hey, hey. I don't know if that's
Katy Perry,
typos.
are you drunk? We're the one drinking whiskey, but I think you're drunk.
You'd be a great interview on Stephen Colbert. I don't know what Stephen Colbert is, but
Who's Stephen Colbert? Yeah.
David Ho says, hi guys, sexy. Hi David.
Hi. Holly, I'm never getting pregnant for that reason. People will judge you. I don't think people will judge you because you're pregnant.
Rabbi, write more science fiction books. I'm putting all my energy into the Kilted coaches. So not for now.
You know, creativity. Kilted coaches takes a lot of creativity, doesn't it?
It does.
To make the videos and to think of ideas, it does take a lot of creative juices. So yeah, kind of spent, aren't we?
And there are times when we're not feeling very creative, so we crack on with stuff that doesn't need much thinking, right?
What is Zodiac? What is mod? Can I be mod? What's that?
Oh, you should have a comic book. Anne's wanting to be our camera woman. A moderator? A moderator of what? Of our channel? Or what? The comments?
I sexy for you.
I would like to sniff your feet, man, can I? It's funny, my daughter does that. She takes her socks off, right? She sticks her foot in my face, and I've got to go, poo! She does it herself. Fucking hilarious. But it's every time she's taking her socks off, I just get this wee tiny 3-year-old's foot in my puss. Greetings from Joshua's tree. Where's Joshua Tree? Because it sounds like you're
I have actually heard of Joshua Tree, but I'm pretty sure that's is it a place?
Holly Blair saying, I'll be the camera woman or the fluffer, whichever pays more. We've actually got a line of fluffers now, actually.
We do, but the technical term for us is the thistle fluffer.
The thistle fluffer.
Who coined that, actually?
I can't remember, it was fucking
Who coined that term? I can't remember who it was.
Thistle fluffer. And then it was, how many thistles could a thistle fluffer fluff if
a thistle fluffer could
fluff thistles? Frank, Frank's like, I'm lead thistle fluffer. Now, to be fair to Frank, he was the lead thistle. I can't even say it. Thistle fluffer last week as well. He's right there at the front. And Glenn's like, I volunteer to fluff the bone. What do you need a fluffer for exactly? Well, sometimes there's gaps between filming and just to prevent shrinkage.
You've got to understand that we do a lot of filming outdoors.
Yeah.
And with the cold weather in Scotland, it creates shrinkage, so we need a thistle fluffer.
Glenn's like performance anxiety.
Anyway, last week, I'm pretty sure it was last week that we set you guys a challenge. If you actually want to be considered as our thistle fluffer, you need to send our agent
That's right, give Simon
video.
abuse.
You want to send Simon an audition video of you saying how many thistles could a thistle fluffer fluff as a thistle fluffer could fluff thistles.
Yes, send that Simon.
Send it to Simon, you'll get his email address on our website.
Just bombard them with email.
It has to be video though, it has to be a video of you saying that rhyme. Moderator, somebody who makes your live streams.
Oh, so that was has to be moderator.
And advertises your other videos and your channel. Alright, okay.
We kind of moderate ourselves really. We have good banter on here. And we get the odd troll, but if they make us laugh, they get to stay, right? In fact, yeah, where's Pennywise?
Yeah, I mean, there was two Pennywises.
Yeah, there was one with a gap in the name, and oh man. But to be fair, where was the one we let stay? Was it Pennywise originally because he was so funny? There was one with the punt. It was Jason Voorhees with the punt because he was just not being funny. He tried, and his jokes were just not funny. But Pennywise was funny. Can I trick my husband into doing it? Caroline,
Doing what?
making the video for you, or?
Second Pennywise. Pennywise has gone to sleep for 20 years.
That's brilliant.
Stephen.
It is 20 years in the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
Yeah.
is. Every 20 years.
That's funny. I think we must have another foot person. Will you show your socks?
Eric Castillo from Ukraine. I've heard your name before, but I didn't realise you were from
Yeah,
Ukraine.
I did not
Very
know
good.
that either. Yeah,
Very
Eric, you
good.
comment quite regularly, sir.
Yeah. Eric, nice to meet you, my good man.
Caroline's going to trick her husband into doing the thistle fluff.
Oh, that'd be awesome!
You've got to do it. You've got to do
you
it.
have to. You would get extra bonus coaches points if you did that.
Yeah, if you do that, that's it. You're going to get. I don't know what you get. But
You get a
something
hat.
awesome.
We've actually got some hats there. You get a hat, Caroline.
Yeah, if you
But-
can get.
We'll give you a Kilted Coach's hat if you do that. That'd be so
Yeah.
funny.
I'll post it on the clan. You need to bombard
No,
Simon with it.
Email Simon.
Please show your socks, guys. Make some fun.
I'm actually not wearing socks at the moment.
Yeah.
Why do you want to see our socks?
No. Ah dear. Ah dear.
Okay, both. That'd be funny. Yeah,
That would
yeah,
be
yeah.
funny.
I guess you've got to post it in the clan as well because everyone has to kind of see it, right?
Vinny's saying, what's the best thing about being a father? Oh,
Christ, how do you answer that?
I like the
everything.
hugs. The hugs and the kisses that you don't ask for.
Yeah,
Yeah, we kiss on the cheek, you're like, oh, where did that come from?
yeah. See, I've got both my boys doing rugby tackles now, and I think ever since I was like a boy,
You're going to be an endangered species.
ever since I was kind of younger, I just loved the idea of sort of rough and tumble with my sons. And then obviously at the point when I have sons, but now I've got two boys, and for a while our girl's been like, we go to rugby training and I teach him how to do rugby tackles, but it's just like, he just runs towards me and goes, ah, and then I fall over and I'm like, ah, rugby tackles, and he's like, hee hee hee, and he laughs his head off and it's great. But I've got an 18-month-old and he just sprints everywhere at the moment, his little tiny little leg goes, brrr. So now he's doing it and it's so funny, he's like, rugby tackles. And he goes, and I went, no, you've got to take a run up because daddy's big and you have to be really strong and fast to knock him over. And he goes, okay, so he goes all the way back and he goes, "Argh," and he goes, eh. And then I went to like fall over. But it's when the laugh, when you make your children laugh
Yeah.
and they genuinely think it's hilarious, you're like, oh man, it's so good.
Because my daughter loves The Lion Guard, which is the Lion King series. In The Lion Guard, the penultimate special move that the little lion has is the Lion Guard roar. So when things get tough and they're fighting off the hyenas, it does the Lion Guard roar and goes roar, and all the clouds turn into lions, and it always scares people away. So of course she runs about the house doing the Lion Guard roar, but if she does it to me, I've got to like, scared away. She thinks it's absolutely priceless. What were they talking about? Let's see. Now Eric said something. Eric said, "There's a boy on the lookout for a package." This sounds suspicious, Eric. What the hell? So, David, you must be another footman. You're wanting socks and feet now.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
well.
David, just a quick little heads up. We don't mind a wee kind of bit of banter now and again. Just
don't go crazy on us. Don't go crazy on us.
We've had people.
We've had people before who went a little bit, just overstepped the mark slightly.
Yeah.
We don't mind odd comment, that's fine. You keep going at the moment, that's fine.
Anne's not into them. She's saying feet are icky.
Greetings from Germany, Frankfurt. What is your favourite whiskey, guys? And he spelled it the right way, so well done. We'll answer that question. I'll give it to you.
Well, I just sprayed all over my phone there. I was like, you have to wipe that. Spray that again. Oh, Christ. And what was the question? Favourite whiskey? Sorry. So my favourite whiskey is the Glenlivet. Stevens is. Oh, you love Glenlivet, Joe.
Yeah, Glenlivet and Lafroy, yeah. Keyline, like the gay Brazilian who wanted to pay the coaches to take a photo.
What are they Brazilian?
I don't know if they're Brazilian.
I know, for a while that somebody hounded us with, they started off private messages and we don't respond to the private messages, and then they started commenting on videos, and then eventually it just came out, they were like, hey guys, like, if we pay $600 we take a poop in the woods. You're like, can you make a tutorial video on how to take a poop in the woods?
It's nice when we've been taken seriously as health coaches. Thank you very much.
Glenn Roebuck's like, 2 coaches, 1 cup. Glenn, you are on fire tonight. Jesus. Oh man, that is so funny. Well, yeah, there was 2 people, because there was someone that wanted to spook the woods, but that other one wanted a genuine kind of analysis of the stools.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Weird. Do you need a tutorial to poop in the woods? Does anyone?
One of the most natural things that you can possibly do is actually shit in the woods. Yeah, I don't think it was actually so that you could learn how to do it. I think it was more for extracurricular activities.
Stephen Perry says, well, that could be important, like what leaves to use to wipe the bum, and Ann Binner says, holly leaves. Scotsman wouldn't be afraid of the holly.
It must be the lighting. Stephen doesn't look ginger anymore. Yes!
He's a blonde bombshell.
I might as well just leave. It can only get worse from here, right?
That's true. Shit or shag in the woods is the most natural. Aha. Holly Blair, have you ever done a shit in the woods?
Or have you shagged in the woods?
I can only imagine some of the comments you guys get.
Your chest still looks a wee bit gingy. Glenn, come on, I was just feeling good.
Nope to both, Holly says. Oh well. Nope to both.
Oh well.
You've not lived if you've not pooped in the woods, right?
Ooh.
I'll never forget actually when I was younger. Do you remember the cow field?
Yes.
Right, so I used to have a boxer dog at the time, and I used to walk down the perimeter of the cow field, down and round, and as you coming up over, everyone used to walk through the field, which was, and then climb the fence.
Yeah.
So I'm coming up and over the hill, so this guy couldn't see me, and he walked, and I wonder what he did, he walked nearly to the bottom gate, stopped for a minute, squatted down, and then believe it or not, I saw 2 white things just chuck. Then off he went, and as I got closer, he squatted, done a shit on the path, and he must have had 2 tissues with him to wipe his arse. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen.
See, at what point, like, where do you pick up those tissues? Like, did they leave them? Say, I'll take these tissues just in case.
I know, it was bizarre. But he couldn't see, because I was up over the top of this cow field, went up and down, you see, so I was coming up over the hill, I was still about 40, 50 yards away. He's just, and from that distance I was like, what is he doing? So it wasn't a little closer, it was just a little...
So I'm going to tell you a story. When I was in Iraq, there was literally, we went over to Iraq for the war, okay, so there was no infrastructure, there was no buildings, there was nothing to stay in, so we just had our vehicles and a poncho to kind of sleep under, that was it, okay. And so we were in Royal Engineers, and typically it's mostly guys in Royal Engineers because it's quite a manual labour intensive job, okay, so typically guys, but there are females, okay, we had 1 female in our whole troop. So we're in Iraq, and obviously to go for the toilet, to go and take a dump, you're in the desert, you're in the middle of the desert, so there's this sand as far as you can possibly see. So where do you go for a dump? Like, you just have to just go for a dump. So I was there, and we were kind of just looking, there was a couple of things going on in the distance, so we kind of had binoculars out, we were sort of looking over there, that's cool, that's all fine. And we're just sort of panning around, and as it panned round, I got the whole moonshot of the only female in the troop having a dump. I was going like, and I'm going to turn back.
What a shame.
She wasn't unattractive, but she wasn't exactly like an oil painter either. So you're kind of like, I don't want to see that. You were in Iraq. That's
You're looking stronger, Stephen, from Borges. I think it's Anderson Borges, if I remember right.
Oh, really?
So about
It must be from all those bench presses I did. Over that way! I haven't been here in a while. Why are you doing live chat shirtless?
Because it's really warm in here.
It was really warm.
Anderson's like good memory rap. I never forget anything. I'm like an elephant from Warden. Stephen, your abs look very good. They always look good. Ron Grant.
I whipped him into shape during our sessions.
Thing is, I can visualise Anne with an actual whip. Running around. You're not getting out here till then. Could you put a picture of the bald guy?
On them? On what?
On the abs?
A picture of Mark here? Like, surely not.
Oh, Anne's got plenty of whips. Adam Henry, hi from Atlanta. Hi to Atlanta.
Yes, please, make him dance.
We'll bring him and we'll make him dance.
So, okay, so I'll maybe message Mark tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to see Mark probably either tomorrow or Sunday. So I will say to him that you want him back, and we'll have a. The thing is, he doesn't like whiskey, so we'll have to have. He likes Morgan's. It's a rum man.
Well, there's room for a Morgan's bottle and a whiskey bottle.
Ah,
right?
yeah, we can bring some Morgan's in.
Fernando's asking, are we both ticklish? In certain areas, yes. In other areas, not so much.
Depends on you buy ticklish as well. Kind of like being tickled in certain places.
Glenn's like, I'm done. Glenn, that's the line we've told you before. That's the line that people put at the end of the emails when they're leaving. It's like, I can't follow you guys anymore. Blah 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 blah. That's it. I'm done.
It's because he likes rum. He's like, rum. I'm done. Mark is no longer the favourite bald guy. It's done.
Gina couldn't make the stream tonight, Eric. She was. Now she started a course.
No, she's not working.
I thought it was. Or was a particular. Or is it work and then doing a course and just to change her shift? So you might be right.
I can't remember.
I remember thinking that she said she's going to miss the live streams, but she finishes her course in November. So you might know maybe she's working
she
at
had
the
to
moment
work, I think,
because of her course taking up other thing.
Like
but she'll always be on our. She's in our clan, for example,
and she will always be in our hearts.
We will think of her every day. Yeah, she had to work. You're right. Thank you.
In fact, if everyone could just type in right now, "We miss you, Gina."
Yeah, type in "We miss you, Gina," and we'll just spend the next 10 seconds.
In fact, if you really want to say that to her, you should actually wait till we finish the live feed and then type it into the comments, because she actually won't see any of this stuff. So don't. You can write it now if you want to, but if you do us a huge favour and just type it afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, and Nadine's on. Swoosh, swoosh.
Nadine always looks so cute with her family, doesn't she?
She's got the perfect hair because she's worth it. Do you guys get that advert? Was it? Is it Pantene?
Pantene.
Or is it L'Oreal? It's because you're worth it.
L'Oreal. You're worth it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. Yes, it's L'Oreal.
Have you ever seen the Photoshop image of Chris Hemsworth as Thor, and it's Thoriel?
No.
And it's Thor with his long blonde hair.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Yeah, so when we come off the stream, you need to come back into the video and put a comment on the video.
Yeah, saying, "We miss you, Gina." Or no, actually, what you should actually write is, "Where the hell were you tonight, Gina?" Like that.
Do you remember that time? We were in Edinburgh, and where the fuck is Phil?
That's right, yeah. I think I tweeted that image. Yeah, Stephen Perry, you might be right. Maybe it was you that sent it to us. It's really funny.
Yeah, you forget where you've seen something.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Just see the image. Stephen has perfect hair. Not really. It's kind of really awkward at the moment. So I
Whatever happened to Phil? Phil fell down a hole and he's in Never Never Land. He will come back.
Do you know what's really funny? Because now he's a friend of mine on Facebook. I still have no idea who he is. He's your friend. we're mates, and like every time he pops up, I'm like, who the fuck is Phil? And then I realise it's him. I'm like, oh yeah.
He had his own hashtag for a while, didn't he? Oh man, right.
I can't believe we're drinking from plastic bottles.
No, we can chill.
We're promoting plastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Always buy your water with plastic bottles. Don't. And certainly don't throw them in the sea.
Yeah, Christ, it's getting quite bad. Just recently in Scotland, in Britain, they've banned those plastic things that sometimes go in body scrubs. Did you see that?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I didn't even know it was plastic. I just assumed it was like crumbs or
Well,
something.
I thought they dissolved that because I squashed a few times. Like, they're like, what is that? You squash it and it bursts into nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's plastic.
No, I thought it was just like breadcrumbs.
No, I think it was actually. I didn't realise this. You don't even consider it. But straws. No, drinking straws.
Yeah.
Plastic.
Yeah.
And there's certainly no way. Like nobody recycles them, do they?
Oh, I saw a really bad video. Oh man, it was a turtle and it had straws up its nose.
Oh yeah.
Pulling on and pulling, and then you're just like, oh my god.
Shit.
It was one of those videos that was far too long. They should have cut it just to get it, but obviously they want people to watch it, right? Anton Notna, you shouldn't put your number publicly online.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Silly. Ida Stroughton was once
I feel another
punchline coming.
Do you do a live stream on Periscope? No, we've never done Periscope.
I don't even know what is Periscope.
Does anybody else do Periscope? Should we do it?
Clarissa's there. Hello from
Hi,
Rio.
Clarissa.
Stephen Pettis is putting his number on as well. Don't put it online. Don't ever put your number unless it's your dimensions. Clarissa, I missed you. Yes, we missed you too. I don't think anyone does Periscope anymore. I don't even know what it is. Is it like YouTube or?
Yeah, YouTube is better than Periscope. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Right, we're not going to bother with Periscope. Yes, Periscope goes out to the world, bigger audience.
So does YouTube.
I'm pretty sure YouTube's a bigger audience. YouTube's like the second largest search engine.
Our man Neil's there. Hey lads, just woke up in time to say, hey you guys.
Neil, we're drinking your whiskey.
Yeah, cheers buddy.
Or we were drinking your whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm driving, so we can only have one tonight.
And I'm a team player, so I only have one. He's only having one.
However, as of next week, we have a reason to be having more than one.
Yes.
We'll have to wait ahead.
Yeah.
So potentially not next Friday because you got to.
I'll be a busy boy.
You'll be a busy boy, but at some point we will be wetting the baby's head.
Yes.
And we'll do it live with you guys. So get yourselves a few drinks. We'll let you know when we're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll play it by ear.
We'll get tanked up and we'll chat nonsense as we do.
Yeah.
Or more nonsense. Drink and call a taxi to go home. That's the spirit. Clarissa.
What?
What?
Thunder the Barbarian.
Who's Thunder the Barbarian?
Who is Thunder the Barbarian? I want to know. Sounds awesome, though.
Thunder. Are you having a boy or a girl? I'm not saying.
Ooh, but if it's a boy, he's going to call it Stephen. You heard it here first. If you don't, then you're pretty upset.
An old cartoon from the 80s. It was Conan the Barbarian.
Really?
I had a boy once. Glenn. If it's a girl, we'll call it Stephanie. Stephen Perry, good shout.
You should.
Yeah. Stephen's such a cool name.
Isn't it? And especially if it's spelled with a PH.
Yeah. Right, well, we can wrap up there tonight.
Yes, we will. Rabina.
I actually knew somebody once upon a time in Canada called, was it Rabina or? It was Rabina actually, yeah.
Yes, we're going to call it a night, guys.
Yep.
Thank you so much for tuning in. There's still 108 people on. That's pretty good.
Yeah, oh, now remember tomorrow on any of our social media, we've got Spot the School.
Yes. And our lean formula is starting on
Monday.
Oh yes. So if you're if you want a body transformation, you want to work with us and get it all the workouts, nutrition, and mindset all to your app.
Look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I happy with what I see? If the answer is no, then join the Lean Formula and we will change it for you. Simple as that.
If the answer is yes, then how you doing? Right, guys. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
We love you all.